When a man finally reaches that moment where the noise of the world fades, where every number he saved stops answering, where every hand he once relied on begins to slip away, something awakens deep inside him. It's the moment he realizes that the people he thought would stand forever were only shadows passing through his story. And in that silence, when the heart is trembling and the eyes don't even have tears left to release, a voice rises within him, soft yet stronger than anything he's ever heard. And that voice tells him, you were never alone. You were never abandoned. You were always being led back to the one who never leaves. That is the moment a man discovers the strength born from having no one but Allah. Because when a man has no one but Allah, he rises differently. His steps carry weight. His prayers carry fire. His heart carries a certainty that no fear can break. The world may look at him and see a man walking alone, but the unseen world knows he walks with the King of Kings. Humans abandon. Allah gathers. Humans forget. Allah remembers. Humans turn their backs. Allah opens his doors wide, wider than any heartbreak, wider than any disappointment a man has tasted. And when those doors open, the man who once felt lifeless begins to breathe again, not with the shallow breaths of survival, but with the deep, powerful breaths of purpose. He starts to realize that every heartbreak was a redirection, every loss was a purification, every closed door was a shield protecting him from what would have destroyed him. Every betrayal was a divine push, guiding him away from dependence on people and toward the one who writes destinies with perfection. And as he looks back, he sees that the path that once felt lonely was actually lined with mercy. The nights he cried alone were nights Allah looked at him with love. The prayers he whispered in weakness were prayers through which Allah rebuilt his strength piece by piece. You see, when a man has no one but Allah, he stops chasing people. He stops begging for validation. He starts understanding that honor, peace, and success come from above, not from the unstable opinions of people who change faster than the clouds. His heart finds a stability it never knew before, because it attaches itself to the source of all stability. Suddenly, patience becomes easier. Silence becomes calmer. Tawakkul becomes sweeter, because he knows deep in his bones that whatever he loses, Allah will replace with better, and whatever Allah withholds, he withholds out of protection, not punishment. And so this man walks through his storms not with fear, but with faith. He faces doors that refuse to open, not with desperation, but with dignity. He watches people leave, not with bitterness, but with surrender. He experiences failures, not with shame, but with the certainty that Allah is aligning him with something greater. His heart whispers, if Allah is with me, what could possibly overpower me? If Allah loves me, what loss could destroy me? If Allah plans for me, what disappointment could break me? He begins to feel a new type of strength, one that no gym can build, no status can buy, no person can give. A strength forged in Sujood, a strength born from trusting the unseen, a strength that grows every time he says, Ya Allah, I leave it to you. And that strength changes him. It softens him where he was once hardened. It steadies him where he was once unstable. It lifts him where he once felt crushed under the weight of life. And he starts noticing blessings he overlooked before, the whispers of guidance that show up in the quiet moments, the small signs that Allah is near, the subtle ways Allah turns the impossible into the effortlessly possible. Doors that once felt sealed shut begin to open in unexpected ways. Opportunities he never imagined start finding him. People meant for him appear without forcing. His heart that once felt broken starts glowing with resilience. Why? Because the man who relies on Allah is never left empty-handed. He is rebuilt in ways he never dreamed of. And as his trust deepens, he begins to taste a peace sweeter than anything the world ever gave him. A peace that sits not on his tongue, but in his soul. A peace that doesn't depend on money, people, or outcomes. It depends on one truth. Allah is enough. And this realization transforms his entire life. He no longer fears the future because he knows who writes it. He no longer clings to what leaves because he knows who replaces it. He no longer loses himself in what hurts because he knows who heals him. His entire worldview shifts from why is this happening to me, to Allah is guiding me through something. And that shift changes everything. He walks with humility because he knows Allah raised him. He speaks with softness because he knows reliance made him gentle. He carries himself with confidence, not arrogance, because his trust is not in himself. It is in his Lord. And that is the most powerful form of confidence a man can possess. His heart, once tied to people, becomes tied to the Creator. His soul, once restless, becomes anchored. His mind, once scattered, becomes clear. And his life, once filled with fear, becomes filled with direction. When a man has no one but Allah, he becomes unshakable. He becomes unstoppable. Not because he is strong on his own, but because Allah strengthens him. Not because he knows the way, but because Allah guides him. Not because he has everything figured out, but because he knows he doesn't have to. He knows Allah already has. And that certainty is worth more than all the comfort the world could offer. So if you are that man, if you feel alone, forgotten or unsupported, know this: Allah is bringing you closer. Allah is rebuilding you. Allah is teaching your heart a reliance that will carry you through every future storm. And one day, very soon, you will look back and say, if I hadn't lost them, I would have never found him. And in that moment, you will understand the secret that transformed millions before you. The man who has no one but Allah always has everything he needs. But there comes a moment, quiet, almost invisible, when a man realizes something life-changing. The loneliness he feared was actually a disguise for a divine invitation, an invitation from Allah, calling him back to a place he unknowingly drifted from. And when that realization hits the heart, it doesn't hit softly. It's like light breaking through a decade of darkness. It hits like the first breath after drowning. It hits like every burden suddenly makes sense. Because what felt like abandonment was actually protection. What felt like rejection was divine redirection. What felt like the end was the beginning of a chapter written with more mercy than he could ever imagine. And in that renewed clarity, he begins to see life with a different lens. He sees people leaving not as tragedy, but as mercy. He sees unanswered calls not as neglect, but as Allah preventing disappointment. He sees delayed blessings not as punishment, but as Allah preparing him for something greater. His heart whispers, Allah doesn't take without giving. Allah doesn't close without opening. Allah doesn't delay without purpose. And that whisper becomes his anchor. When a man has no one but Allah, his does become deeper. No longer shallow requests thrown into the night, but conversations, raw, honest, trembling conversations that shake his soul. He speaks to Allah with the kind of vulnerability he never shared with another human being. He tells Allah about his fears, his failures, his regrets, his loneliness. And the incredible thing, he never feels judged, he feels embraced. Because Allah listens not just to words, but to the pain behind them. Allah responds not just to requests, but to the brokenness beneath them. And with every sincere dua, with every whisper of, Ya Allah, help me, something within him shifts. Sometimes the world doesn't change immediately, but he does. His heart gets quieter. His soul gets stronger. His mind gets clearer. And his steps become more purposeful. Because once a man has tasted what it feels like to rely on Allah, nothing else satisfies him. Nothing else gives him the same certainty, the same peace, the same stability. He begins to understand that depending on people was what made him weak. Depending on Allah is what makes him unstoppable. He stops chasing after apologies, explanations, validations. He stops needing to be understood by those who were never meant to understand his journey. He stops shrinking himself to fit into places where Allah never placed barakah for him. Instead, he focuses on what truly matters: his heart, his character, his sincerity, his connection with his Creator. And as that connection deepens, a transformation begins. The kind of transformation you can't fake. The kind people notice even before he speaks. His face carries calmness. His words carry weight. His presence carries peace. Not because life became easy, but because Allah became enough. And that's the secret only those who walk through loneliness with Allah understand. When Allah is enough, everything else becomes manageable. When Allah is enough, losses don't break you. When Allah is enough, setbacks don't crush you. They prepare you. When Allah is enough, tears don't drown you. They water your growth. Slowly, life starts to shift around him. Not abruptly, not dramatically, but beautifully. The kind of beauty that feels like a promise kept. Opportunities appear that he didn't chase. Good people enter without him searching. Blessings emerge from places he never imagined. And he realizes something miraculous. Allah was not just healing him. Allah was upgrading his life. And the more Allah gives, the more he realizes that what Allah withheld was never meant for him. That what Allah delayed was never going to benefit him in the state he was in. That what Allah removed was only removed to make space for something purer, safer, more aligned with his destiny. His trust becomes unshakable. His patience becomes steady. His heart becomes firm because he knows that everything Allah doesn't look like mercy, even when it doesn't look like mercy at first. He starts to walk with a quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. The kind that comes from knowing that the one guiding him is the most wise. When people question him, he smiles. When life challenges him, he breathes. When the path gets unclear, he prays. His strength is not in his muscles, not in his wealth, not in his connections. His strength is in his sujood, in his surrender, in his unwavering belief that Allah never leaves the side of those who call upon him. And then comes the moment, every man who lies on Allah reaches it eventually, when he looks around his life and realizes he doesn't want anyone but Allah, not because he hates people, not because he fears relationships, but because he finally found what fills the emptiness within him. He finally found what he was searching for while chasing the world. He finally found a peace that comes from knowing that even if everyone walks away, Allah will never take one step back from him. And that realization is free. Oftentimes we get caught up in the small worries of everyday life, bills, work, relationships, or health. These worries can feel overwhelming because they are constant, repetitive, and pressing. Yet in reality, these challenges are opportunities for us to practice trust in Allah. Each worry is an invitation to pause, reflect, and remind ourselves Allah will take care of everything. The more we repeat this truth, the more it becomes a shield around our hearts. Consider the story of the companions of the Prophet Saul. They faced persecution, exile, hunger, and fear on a daily basis. Yet their reliance on Allah never wavered. They prayed sincerely, worked diligently, and trusted fully in His plan. Their lives were a living testament to the power of faith over fear and trust over worry. If they could endure such hardships with unwavering faith, we too can face the trials of our lives knowing that we are never alone. Life often presents us with crossroads. We make choices, take steps, and sometimes fail. Failure can be crushing, leaving us anxious and doubtful. But failure is not the end. It is a part of the journey. Each mistake, each setback is a lesson carefully designed to guide us toward growth, wisdom, and a stronger connection with Allah. Remember, even when we falter, Allah's mercy is greater than our mistakes. His guidance is always within reach. When fear threatens to paralyze you, turn to prayer as more than words. It is a lifeline. It is a direct connection to the one who controls all things, the one who knows what is best for you, even before you speak it aloud. Let your heart pour out its worries, your mind release its doubts, and your spirit surrender its anxieties. Allah listens. Allah cares. Allah acts. Think about the small miracles in your life. The fact that you woke up today, that your heart beats, that you can see, hear, and experience the world around you. These are signs of His care. When we recognize these small blessings, we begin to see the bigger picture. Allah's care extends far beyond what we notice or understand. The trials you face today are part of a much larger tapestry woven with wisdom, mercy, and love. Trust also requires patience. Patience is not merely waiting. It is waiting with faith, hope, and resilience. Every difficulty has an expiration date, even if we cannot see it. Storms pass, wounds heal, and burdens lighten. The act of patiently trusting Allah transforms us, strengthens our hearts, and prepares us for the blessings that follow. Look at the life of Prophet Dawood. As he faced enemies, political struggles, and personal trials, yet his trust in Allah never faltered. Through worship, patience, and reliance, he overcame challenges that seemed impossible. His story reminds us that no matter the size of the difficulty, Allah's support is greater. No matter the depth of despair, His mercy is infinite. In today's world, it is easy to be consumed by fear of the future. We worry about health, finances, relationships, and the unknown. But the truth is, Allah has already written every detail of our lives. The future is not something to be feared. It is a gift to be trusted. By surrendering our fears to Him, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and gain clarity, peace, and courage to act wisely in the present. Remember, reliance on Allah does not mean giving up. It means taking action with sincerity, effort, and determination while trusting the outcome to Him. It means working diligently but understanding that the results belong to Allah. It means praying for guidance and trusting that every hardship carries within it a seed of blessing, even if it is not immediately visible. So when life challenges you, when fear and doubt arise, when uncertainty clouds your mind, Hold fast to these words. Allah will take care of everything. Say them aloud. Speak them in your heart. Let them become your anchor in the storms of life. Let them remind you that no challenge is too great, no fear too overwhelming, no situation beyond the mercy and wisdom of Allah. And finally, embrace hope. Hope is a light that never fades. It is a promise that no matter how dark the night, the dawn will come. With Allah, despair is temporary, and every difficulty carries within it the potential for transformation, growth, and blessing. Let your heart be filled with hope, your mind with trust, and your soul with unwavering faith. Because when you do, you will discover the incredible power of surrender, patience, and reliance. Allah will take care of everything. Life is full of moments that test the soul. Sometimes it's a financial burden that seems impossible to carry. Sometimes it's a broken relationship, a lost opportunity, or a dream that seems forever out of reach. And in these moments, our natural response is fear, anxiety, or despair. But these are precisely the moments when faith must shine brightest. When life feels heaviest, it is the perfect time to remind yourself, Allah will take care of everything. Every challenge carries a lesson. Sometimes it is a lesson in patience, sometimes in resilience, sometimes in gratitude. Even when the lesson is painful, it is for your growth, for your protection, and for your ultimate good. Allah never burdens a soul beyond its capacity, and He never allows hardship without purpose. What seems unbearable today may later reveal itself as a blessing you never imagined. Consider the story of Prophet Isa. His life was filled with trials, doubt from those around him, and immense challenges in spreading the message of truth. Yet his reliance on Allah never faltered. He persevered, trusted in divine wisdom, and fulfilled his purpose with patience and courage. This teaches us that no matter how overwhelming the situation, no matter how isolated or misunderstood we may feel, Allah's support is always near. In your own life, you may face moments when hope feels distant. Perhaps you feel unseen, unheard, or unsupported. But take heart, Allah sees you. Every tear you shed, every silent prayer, every hidden struggle, He knows. And His plan is perfect. Even when we cannot understand it, even when the path is unclear, there is a divine order guiding everything toward what is best for us. It is natural to want control over every aspect of life. We make plans, set goals, and dream of outcomes. But ultimate control belongs only to Allah. When we release our grip on the illusion of control and surrender to His wisdom, a profound peace fills the heart. You begin to realize that life is not about avoiding challenges, but about navigating them with faith, patience, and reliance on Allah. Let us reflect on gratitude. Gratitude transforms the way we see our circumstances. It shifts the focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. Even in times of difficulty, there is always something to be grateful for. A warm meal, a roof over your head, a kind word from a friend, the simple breath of life. Each blessing, no matter how small, is a reminder of Allah's care and mercy. By cultivating gratitude, we strengthen our faith and lighten the weight of worry. Prayer is another powerful tool. It is more than ritual. It is a direct line to the Creator of all things. When you feel overwhelmed, speak to Allah with honesty. Share your fears, your doubts, your hopes. Pour your heart out. He listens. He understands. He responds in ways that may not be immediate or obvious, but always perfect. Prayer allows the soul to release its burdens and fills the heart with trust and hope. Patience is the companion of faith. Patience does not mean inaction or passivity. It means enduring with dignity, persevering with hope, and trusting in divine timing. Every trial you face is temporary, every hardship has an end, and every storm eventually passes. By practicing patience, you strengthen your connection with Allah and prepare yourself for the blessings that follow. Even when life feels chaotic, when fears multiply, when problems seem endless, remember this: Allah is aware. He is present. He is guiding, protecting, and caring for you at every moment. Trust in His timing, trust in His wisdom, and trust in His infinite mercy. Every worry you release into His hands lightens your heart, clears your mind, and opens the path to peace and clarity. Think of the countless people who have faced despair and yet found hope through reliance on Allah. They were ordinary people just like us who made extraordinary choices by trusting in divine wisdom. Their lives are proof that surrendering worry to Allah does not diminish effort. It amplifies results, bringing outcomes far greater than human planning could achieve. When anxiety returns, when doubt creeps in, remind yourself, Allah will take care of everything. Say it aloud, speak it into your heart, let it echo in your mind, make it your mantra. With repetition, belief, and trust, it transforms from words into a deep, unshakable conviction, a source of comfort, strength, and courage in every circumstance. In today's world, life moves faster than ever. The constant barrage of news, deadlines, and expectations can leave the heart restless and the mind exhausted. We worry about our careers, our families, our health, and our futures, and sometimes the pressure feels unbearable. But in the midst of this chaos, there is a timeless truth. Allah's care is constant. The Creator who watches over every star, every ocean, every heartbeat, also watches over you. Every detail of your life is known and nothing escapes His attention. Consider the modern challenges of uncertainty. A job lost, a dream delayed, a relationship fractured. It is easy to feel despair, to question, to fear the worst. Yet every difficulty carries within it an opportunity, a hidden blessing, a lesson, or a redirection towards something better. Allah's wisdom is beyond our comprehension. What seems like a failure today may be the gateway to growth tomorrow. What feels like a dead end may be a path opening toward unimaginable blessings. Think about the life of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad. They faced trials that would overwhelm even the strongest among us. Persecution, exile, hunger, and constant threat. Yet, their reliance on Allah never wavered. Through trust, patience, and steadfastness, they found strength beyond themselves. Their stories are reminders that no matter how difficult life becomes, divine support is always near. And just as it supported them, it supports you now. Sometimes worry is rooted in the fear of the unknown. We plan, we strategize, we try to control, yet uncertainty is inevitable. The truth is that uncertainty is not something to fear. It is an invitation to trust. When we reach control and place our hearts in Allah's hands, a sense of peace fills the soul. This does not mean giving up or being passive. It means acting with diligence, making decisions with sincerity, and then leaving the results to Allah. Reflection is a powerful tool in combating worry. Take a moment each day to observe the blessings around you. The food you eat, the roof over your head, the love of friends and family, the gift of life itself. These blessings are constant reminders of Allah's care. When we recognize these gifts, our hearts naturally move toward gratitude, and gratitude softens the weight of worry. Patience remains central in this journey. True patience is not resignation. It is enduring with hope, persevering with faith, and trusting that divine timing is perfect. Every storm, every trial, every delay has a purpose. Each difficulty shapes your character, strengthens your spirit, and prepares you for the blessings that lie ahead. Remember, even the prophets endured hardships beyond imagination. Yet they relied on Allah and found victory, peace, and fulfillment. Prayer is your lifeline. When anxiety grips your heart, when the future feels uncertain, pour your heart out to Allah. Speak with honesty, vulnerability, and trust. Ask for guidance, relief, strength, and clarity. Prayer is not only a plea for help, it is a powerful tool for inner peace, a bridge between fear and trust, despair and hope. Through prayer, your soul finds rest and your heart learns to rely on Allah's wisdom. Life also demands action. Reliance on Allah does not negate effort, it encourages it. Work sincerely, plan thoughtfully, and strive for your goals. But always remember that outcomes belong to Allah. Your effort is your responsibility. The result is His. This balance between action and trust brings freedom. It frees you from the burden of fear and the weight of constant worry, replacing them with confidence, patience, and hope. Remember, every difficulty you face is temporary. Every challenge carries within it the potential for growth. Every fear is an opportunity to deepen trust. Even when life feels overwhelming, even when the path is unclear, Allah's care remains constant. He is the steady anchor in the storms of life, the guiding light in darkness, the source of strength in weakness. And finally, hope must never be abandoned. Hope is the light that sustains the soul, the energy that carries us through trials, the force that transforms despair into opportunity. When you place hope in Allah, combined with trust and action, you unlock the power to navigate life's challenges with courage, patience, and peace. Your journey becomes a testimony to the strength of faith, the beauty of reliance, and the miracles of divine care. So whenever doubt arises, whenever worry threatens, whenever fear encroaches on your heart, repeat this powerful truth: Allah will take care of everything. Let it resonate in your mind, echo in your heart, and guide your actions. This simple yet profound declaration has the power to transform your life, to lighten your burdens, and to fill your soul with unwavering trust, hope, and peace.